And welcome back. Just been talking there during that song, and Lee was talking about lightsaber classes.
Yeah, new attraction for Teesside Unleashed this time is we have the Path of the Sith Acolyte, which is essentially a lightsaber training school for anybody age really. If you can hold a lightsaber, you can come to it. It's run independently from Haunted Toys, so it's not actually anything to do with us. But we've seen them in action. The school's fantastic. It's by a qualified instructor called Lane. He's also a fitness instructor, and the girls absolutely love him because he does it with no shirt on.
Very fit body. One for the ladies.
Basically, if you go onto the Teesside Unleashed event page on Facebook, just type it in. I give details there on how to sign up for the Lightsaber Training Academy. There's two schools, one at 11 a.m. and one at 1 p.m. And even if you're not taking part in it, it's good to watch. It is a bit of a spectacle with all the lightsabers. There is an additional cost involved, but you get a lightsaber, you get a certificate, and you get 30 minutes of instruction. But click on the Facebook page for full details about doing
what
that.
Age is that for?
If you can pick up a lightsaber, you can do it.
Do it.
Simple as that.
That sounds good. I'm sure there'll be lots of interest for that, especially if you're shirtless, as you say.
Yes,
well,
definitely.
The mums are going to love it as well.
Well, let's go back to some of the items that you've brought. You did mention, again, off air, that you've got a figure based on yourself. Have you got that with you?
Yeah, while I had the shop in Teesside, in Stockton, there was a chap who used to buy some things off us, and he customised his action figures. And at the time I used to wear a costume, and I used to go to events dressed up as a Jedi Knight, and he created an action figure in my likeness. So I actually have my own action figure.
It's uncanny.
A Lee Hunter Jedi Knight.
Again, we'll put this online, but it's fantastic as well. That is fantastic. With cosplay, people obviously dress up, and what's the thinking behind that? What's the meaning with cosplay?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I bought a costume as promotion for the shop, and I put it on, and I felt empowered. I felt like the character I was playing, and I really did love it. And I joined a costuming group called the Rebel Legion. They're a Lucasfilm approved group, and they're the only Lucasfilm approved group for good guys in the UK. And we did a few events for them, a few charity events. And when you're dressed in costume, just to see the kids go, wow, yeah, and their eyes light up, and for the kids to truly believe that they are looking at their characters, that's what it means for me. Mm-hmm. Different costumers, it means different things. Again, they want to be their characters, they want to be their heroes, they feel great in the costumes. Some people want to build a costume that's extremely movie accurate, and it is a hobby like that. But I think if you are costuming, you are cosplaying, the most important thing is to do it for your own reasons. So whatever you want to do, whoever you want to be, get on with it. Get yourself a costume and be that character. As long as you feel good about it, that's the most important thing, really.
And is there any other reason? Is there a charity or anything which get involved with the cosplay?
Well, we are involved in a few charities this year. I'm actually an ambassador for a charity called I Cosplay, which raises awareness of bullying in the cosplay community. Basically, it's a simple idea, really. If it can make costumers and cosplayers feel more confident in what they're doing, or it makes one bully stop and think twice about what they're going to say to a costumer, then it's a great idea. It's done its job. So I support them, and I have done for a couple of years. Like I say, I am an ambassador for them. We get out and about in a bit, and just raise a bit of awareness for them. We're also teaming up with Daisy Chain this year. Daisy Chain Project, famous local charity, which runs a lot of support services for families living with autism in the Tees Valley area, and they're going to come along and hold a raffle and name the teddy, and they're going to bring their own mascot, so a little bit of costume in there. But we're going to sort of encourage families to come along to the events as well. We run some, as well as the Teesside Unleashed, which is a big, busy event, we run a smaller event called a Minicon. And these tend to be evening events, just a couple of hours in the evening, and based at children. So we are a bit busy and children do get a bit lost. They can come along to a mini-con where we have a dedicated cast of costumers, and usually with a theme. So we're going to run a little one at Thirst on the 20th of February, which has got a Star Wars theme. Kylo Ren is the main character who's going to be there. And then we have one at the Swan on the 24th of March, which we've actually dubbed Avengers Con. So the entire Avengers will be there. Captain America, the new Spider-Man.
Sorry, where was that going to?
That one's going to be at the Swan in Billingham.
In Billingham, right.
So they can come along and meet the famous, the favourite characters, as well as a lot of Disney princesses and Ursula the Sea Witch and the likes.
Brilliant.
Ursula is good.
Yeah.
She is a big favourite.
So yeah, basically, these costume characters will be all of our events. So if you like them, come along and meet them. Bring your cameras, definitely though. Yeah, I mean, just after we'd set up Teesside Unleashed, we got asked to go and manage somebody else's event down south. They were doing a new event. It was up and running, but it was a bit short-staffed. So we managed the event for them. We had a great day. We got paid for it, which is even better.
It's a bonus.
Yeah.
So we decided then to set up a separate company from Hunter Toys, which is the Unleashed and Minicom brands belong to Hunter Toys. Separate company called Hall and Nothing Events.
Do you have a website for that, or is it on your
Facebook? Everything's Facebook. It's just
Facebook,
and it's a
yeah.
newfangled website. Although we get called Hunter, my name isn't actually Lee Hunter. My name is Lee Hall. So we came up with Hall and Nothing Events. Lee Hunter came about from what Sharon was saying earlier when we were at the cinema. My name is Lee Hall, but we were on Hunter Toys, so people were coming, it's Lee, it's Lee Hunter, and it's sort of stuck. Other people give us the name, so we don't move away from that. But the other company's called Hall and Nothing Events. Basically, if anybody asks us to do an event for them or do something for them, we run it under the Hall and Nothing Events umbrella.
So Lee Hunt is almost like a brand.
Yes, it is. I mean, Facebook's got to be it's our best tool for the work we do, but Hunter Toys, Facebook is to thank for it really, because we had a friend page in it where you could send and receive friend requests. We called it Hunter Toys, and then Facebook said, no, you can't do that. You have to be a person. So I am Lee Hunter, so we changed it to Lee Hunter, and it has just sort of stuck. But my name's Lee Hall for the record.
Okay then, Lee Hall. With the events, what events have you had? Have you had any unusual events?
Yes, we got asked to arrange a wedding, a Star Wars themed wedding, which went down rather well. We did that one voluntarily.
And that was a surprise for the groom.
And it was a surprise for the groom. Basically, got married in a registry office in Beverley. Was it Beverley? And he had no idea what was happening. He invited us as guests because we knew the bride and groom. And then as he left the registry office, there we go, Stormtroopers, Princess Leia, Chewbacca. Oh man, he was blown away. It was fantastic.
He was. And the guests were.
And the guests were impressed. We had a rather sad occasion last year when one of our regular customers, a guy called Ian Hatfield, he sadly passed away. And he was a big collector. We got asked to go along and actually sort of represent at the funeral as well, and got to speak at the funeral, which was very sad but very, very nice. As well. It was a good send off for Ian, and we got a couple of things lined up this year which are very unusual, but the surprises, so we can't say anything sadly. Big Star Wars theme, that's all we can say. But we will consider any events that anybody wants to do. If it fits with us and we've got time, then we'll put Hall and Nothing events into gear, and we'll help out if we can.
That sounds amazing. Sounds absolutely amazing. Welcome back. We have Lee Hall, not Hunter. But I'm going to carry on with this one.
No, everyone calls me Hunter anyway.
As I say, it's a brand, and we have Sharon with him. We were talking about BB-8, weren't we, June?
We were. I mean, going back to what we were on about earlier on with collectibles, what are the future collectibles? Before the Star Wars Force Awakens film came out, the toys came out a couple of months beforehand, and although we said with episode 1 people cleared the shelves and the toys weren't really worth anything, I've got here the 3 3/4 inch Rey and BB-8 action figures, which are absolutely fantastic, but at the moment the shelves are bare in the shops. They seem to have sold out over Christmas, but we understand that there's new toys coming out this year, new range of action figures in the next month, because I still need the new Han Solo for my my own figure collection. So the likes of BB-8, Rey,
and just in case someone's been hiding under a rock, who is Rey and BB-8?
Rey is the new character in The Force Awakens. She's a scavenger on the planet of Jakku, and she happens across a little cute little droid called BB-8, which is essentially made of a sphere with an R2-D2 type head on it. And for a round ball and a head, it's extremely cute and extremely fantastic in the film. George Lucas had a great idea for the original Star Wars trilogy, where the film will be seen through the eyes of the droids. So it's essentially the droids' journey from episode 1 right through to episode 6, and they handed the baton over to BB-8. So BB-8 escapes the bad guys at the start of the film, happens across Rey, and changes Rey's life forever, but we don't want to give any more spoilers. There's a fantastic toy available through the Disney store, a BB-8 toy. We did some promo at Cineworld last week, and one of the girls, Becky, who does costume with us, brought the BB-8 along. Brilliant. Want one, need one. So since Teesside's out of the way, I'm going to go and buy myself a new BB-8.
And I don't think BB-8's going to take over R2-D2 in the respect of the film. Again, not giving spoilers away, but it's certainly on par with an R2-D2 type character.
Certainly is.
Very funny.
He's very funny, very cute. I'd be surprised if BB-8 does take over from R2-D2 and C-3PO. But there's no reason why the new and old characters can't exist together in the next few Star Wars films coming up as well. If you like the droids, Teesside Unleashed, we have got a full-size R2-D2 there that looks just like the real thing. In fact, don't tell your kids and they will believe it's the real thing. It's from a company called Star Wars for Hire, and they provide the full-size Jabba the Hutt we have there as well. Fantastic photo opportunity for the day.
It's really good, isn't it? I must admit, my little girl, she's had her photograph taken with Jabba the Hutt, and it just looks so good. It looks fun. You see it on photographs, and it does look good. It's a bit like going to Madame Tussauds, where you have to see it in the flesh to really appreciate it, because it is just amazing.
Yeah, it's worth the entry fee alone just to see Jabba, and we do genuinely mean that. We're not just trying to sell tickets. Paul's a friend who owns Star Wars for Hire, and he's got the Jabba and he's got the speeder bike. And it may be the last time we have Jabba on Teesside, because Paul's got some other amazing things come up. We don't want to spoil a surprise yet, but Teesside in October, you could have some other really great full-size Star Wars items there.
That's brilliant. That's great.
So just as
Mick's brought it, as I say, we've got Lee here and Sharon from Teesside Unleashed, which is on Saturday. Do you want to just remind people again about the tickets?
Yeah, Teesside Unleashed at Martin Country Club on Saturday. It's a family Comic-Con style event, and it's open from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. You can pay on the dot. £5 for adults, £2 for under 12s, or free for under 5s. If you have an advance ticket, you can get into the event a whole hour earlier at 10 o'clock without any queuing and enjoy the day. We have actually sold out of advance tickets online, but we think there may be some left at Howell's Shop in Middlesbrough or the venue itself, Martin Country Club. But like I say, if you don't get an advance ticket, don't worry, you can still pay on the door.
We've been talking a lot about Star Wars over the past hour or so. It isn't just exclusively Star Wars, is it?
Absolutely not. I'm a big Star Wars fan, always have been, and that's where I set off. But Teesside Unleashed covers all genres, from comics to movies to games, from sort of anime, art, T-shirts, autographs, and
crafts, jewellery,
handmade stuff. We've got a few authors coming down.
Can you even get your nails painted?
We even have something for the mums. You can get nails painted, you get your face painted. We have a balloon artist there. You name it, we've got it. And when we talk about the genres, I'm just going to pick up this figure here. This is what's called a Funko Pop figure. This is Tony Montana from Scarface. This is in my own personal collection. We're talking about sort of collectibles and the collectibles of the future. When a couple of years back, some company or other made some bobbleheads for Star Wars, and I hated them. Tiny little bodies with these big bobbleheads on them, and they just weren't for me. So when these Funko Pop vinyl figures came out, I thought, nah, they won't last 5 minutes. Now they're the most popular thing going. My kids have got absolutely loads of them, and I've even started collecting them. So you know about different collectibles. These Funko Pops are great. They cover every genre, from Disney right through to Star Trek, Game of Thrones, you name it. They're absolutely fantastic at the moment.
We've even got stores where they customise them. You know, they're covered in sparkly. What are they called?
Glitter.
No, all the gems on them and or painted different colours. So,
but there's different special editions as well. I'm just nice about these as well. They look good in the box, or they look good out of the box.
Every person who I know who collects them have kept them all in the box.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's to keep them for future. It's like you say, just because they do look good in the box. Again, we will put pictures of these on our website and Facebook if you don't know what we're talking about with these pop figures. But they are, how to describe them, very minimal, cartoony figures.
Absolutely, they're about vinyl, about 6 inches tall at the most, with a small body and a big head. But again, it's a representation of what you see. This Tony Montana from Scarface carrying a little machine gun, my little friend. I mean, it's a big head and he's got 2 black eyes, 1 scar, no mouth, tiny little nose, black hair, but you look at it straight away and you know exactly who it is. These are great. Like I said before, they cover every genre. They're only about a tenner each. The limited ones can be worth a little bit more, but about a tenner each. Fantastic thing to collect.
And something which you weren't terribly excited about when they first came out. What do you think's made them become so popular?
I don't know how they've done it. I don't know the ins and outs, but Funko have managed to get in touch and make a completely figures from completely across the board, from DC to Marvel to Star Wars to Star Trek. Every single TV program, every single TV series, every single cartoon, they've got figures from every single one. Nobody else has managed to cover every single area of collecting. So no matter what you're into, and I mean no matter what you're into, there's a Funko Pop for you.
I have seen Ghostbusters.
Yep.
And there's a lot of bands out there as well which they've covered as well.
And you know what? That's something I haven't seen. I've not seen the band ones.
There's a few band ones as well. Would you find those in specialist shops or just anywhere?
Well, the good thing about Teesside Unleashed and events like that is there's a really good selection of stuff under one roof. But you can still pick up these from places like Beanie Games in Stockton and Sub-Zero Comics in Stockton have them as well. But you can find them in places like HMV and the likes as well. But everybody seems to have something different. I've just picked up for my daughter last week. My daughter cosplays as Cinderella. She's very beautiful. She does a really great job of it.
And she'll be there on Saturday.
She'll be there on Saturday. She'll be hosting a costume competition with me. But Maisie wears glasses. There's a Cinderella with exactly the same glasses on as Maisie, Funko Pop. I was like, oh my God, it's got to be hard. So yeah, I for somebody who couldn't stand these things, I love them. Absolutely love them.
But it's a good way for people to collect because they are, as you say, reasonably priced at £10 for them, and it might lead to collecting other things and to be a fully fledged geek, would you say?
Absolutely. You know, you can call them entry level collectibles. The most important thing is buy what you like. If you like it and you enjoy it, get it. You know, don't think about future appreciation on price. If you like it,
it's all about fun.
Get it. Yeah, it's all about the fun.
We've just been reminiscing about Leslie Brown's, which a lot of younger listeners will not have a clue. But does anyone want to sort of shed light on Leslie Brown's?
It was a toy shop and a record shop.
It was brilliant.
On the high street in Stockton.
Yeah, it was. I remember Leslie Brown's.
Pocket money.
Yeah, it was. It was a few doors down from the audience. So you come out, and the window was the most beautiful thing in the world. It was absolutely jam packed full of from toys, from Doyle's to Cowboys and Indians to toy guns to all these Star Wars figures. But they also sold records as well.
Yeah, it was the soldiers in the glass cabinets.
Toy soldiers, the Britain soldiers.
Yeah.
Look, there was a. Do you remember the train set that they had in there? They used to put 2p in.
Yes.
Well, when we had Hunter Toys in Stockton, we owned that for a few months. We picked it up from Vector's Toy Auctions and we moved it into the shop, and it was just nice to own for a while.
It was still working?
It was still working. We went to a youth project in Scotland in the end. I understand it's still there and it's still working as well.
You know, there's many a time where even if you didn't have money to put in, you'd just stand and look at it on the hope that someone would put money in. But it was just such a beautiful item anyway. You could just look at it.
Yeah.
A bit like you, Nick.
The great thing about it was when it was in Hunter Toys and I had it there, I had the keys so I could press the button as many times as I wanted.
It was an amazing. There's nothing like that anymore, is there? Which is a shame. Not in this area.
No, there isn't, sadly. I mean, I do like. I've never had a train set, but I do like train sets and the whole modelling, the whole building up of it. It was great. Something else again, you know, Vector's Toy Auctions on the doorstep here. It's only in Thornaby. Look them up on the internet and give them a ring and pop down and have a look, see what they've got.
Great
Some
place.
great stuff down there
Is that
Whereabouts in Thornaby?
on Teesside Unleashed estate.
so? Could you just walk in, have a look around, see what they've got before the auction?
Yeah, I mean, give them a ring beforehand. Chat to the auctioneer, a guy called Andy Reid. 01642 750 616. Can you tell I spend a lot of time there?
Oh, yeah.
You give them a ring and you can pop down and you can have a look before the auctions, and you can pick up some nice stuff at great prices. But if you've got some rare stuff you want to shift as well, that's the best place to do it at Vectis Auctions.
Excellent, excellent. Let's go back to Star Wars, because I've noticed that you have got a few items with Star Wars, and I think after this we'll stop talking about Star Wars and we'll maybe go on to something else. But
This is the last one here. This is an A3 sized picture. It actually depicts an alien from the Aliens movies, the big xenomorph there. It appears to be frozen in carbonite. For Star Wars fans will know what this is. And in front of it is Boba Fett. Now it's a fan painting. It's by a guy called Alfredo Lopez. Now, it says the Bounty Hunter V2 Special Edition. Now, what's interesting about this, first and foremost, it's signed to Lee from Jeremy Bullock, Boba Fett. So it was actually given to me by Jeremy Bullock at the Teesside Unleashed 5. But the Boba Fett, originally, it didn't have a helmet on, and it had Jeremy's face. Jeremy didn't like it. So Jeremy has taken it and drawn Boba Fett's helmet on to his head. So it's a unique piece.
it is, because you can. Oh, well, I'm not into art, but you can probably just tell where the original artist has stopped and Jeremy's continued. You can just about tell.
So this is a unique piece. This is the piece that, you know, these things are nice and special to me. I get all my guests to give me an autograph at the events, and I've got them on my office wall. But this is my favourite piece of all of those, just because it's unique.
Is that on your office wall, or do you keep that anywhere?
It's my office wall
Is it your office wall?
with all my other autographs. There's no real
toys.
and my toys. There's no real price to them. But you know, it's just a piece I'm really happy with. A couple of other things here. When Force Awakens came out, free comic book day, there was a free Star Wars comic came out. These things are nice to get because they are free, they are promotional, but they're just nice to keep and put away. And don't forget to keep checking all your local toys and shops. I've got here Special Forces First Order TIE Fighter. It's about 12 inches long by 12 inches high. It's a TIE Fighter from The Force Awakens, obviously. It's got a pilot in it, and the original retail price for these things was $49.99. Found this in Tesco for a tenner, brand new.
Pocket
So
money, isn't it?
get out there, have a look around. There's plenty out there to be had at good prices. Really good stuff.
Absolutely, and it is. That's quite impressive. There's quite a lot of detail, because I remember the TIE Fighter from the early 80s, and as good as you remember it being, there wasn't the detail as the newer ones, which is not a bad thing.
It's well detailed, but it's very sturdy as well. It's a good toy. I mean, we open our toys, and the first thing I do is got this out of the box, and it has blown me away. It's a really nice piece. We've also got an action figure here from The Force Awakens, which we picked up to go in our own collection. PZ-4CO, which is a protocol droid, which was in the Resistance base in The Force Awakens, and it's sealed on its card. Oh, we just opened it. It's not sealed on its card anymore. It's a really nice action figure. Just get the toys out, get them played with freely.
But you were saying that's what they're there for. They're made as toys. Star Wars is a children's movie.
Yes.
You know, I don't think George Lucas, when he first made Star Wars or even wrote it, he envisaged it to be as popular. Yeah, it's important it would be, but nowhere near as well as popular as what it is.
No.
Sort of 35, probably 40 years since he originally wrote the story.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody did. You speak to Pam, you speak to people like Laurie Good, who were in the original Star Wars film, had small parts in it, and most of them they'll admit themselves they saw the script and went, "What the hell is this? This doesn't look very good at all." So nobody would have ever dreamed it would become as popular as it has. And 40 years later, it's still here. We're still talking about it. We're talking about it, and we're going to stop right now and talk about other things.
Well, Alec Guinness, who plays Obi-Wan Kenobi, he wasn't a fan, was he?
No, he wasn't a fan. I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that he didn't like to be hounded just for his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. But ironically, Ewan McGregor, who played the same character in the prequels, feels exactly the same way. He thinks I think he thinks his other work's been overlooked just by his role in Star Wars.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of other actors who would have loved to have been in his situation. Certainly, Alec Guinness, because is it right he got a percentage of the takings or the merchandise?
He was very clever, Sir Alec. I'm not sure if he took a salary or he forgot his salary for a percentage. And yes, he made a lot of money out of the first Star Wars. He really did.
We are here with Sharon and Lee, who are organising for Saturday. I say organising. I guess you've done.
It's organised. It's too late now.
It's done. Teesside Unleashed 7, which will be on Saturday. And again, if you've just joined us, how can people go? What
Teesside Unleashed, family Comic-Con style event, Martin Country Club in Middlesbrough on Saturday the 6th of February. It's on from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. You can pay on the door from 11 a.m. It's £5 for adults, 12. Under 12s is £2 and under 5s are free. If you want to get in an hour earlier at 10 o'clock and enjoy the show before it gets too busy, there's a few advance tickets left on the planet. We've sold out on our online store, but if you go to Howell Shop in Middlesbrough or the venue itself, there's a limited amount tucked away. These are £5 a person, no matter what your age, but under 5 still getting free.
And it's so successful, isn't it? Has been in the past, and you're expecting it to be the same.
It's a bit of a dream, to be honest with you. When you set something up like this, you hope it's going to be good. And we've just worked our socks off for the last 2 years, and this will be our 2nd year anniversary on Saturday, actually,
right.
since we held the first event. We've worked hard. It's been a success. We did York Unleashed in the summer. It was actually called York Comic Con for the first one. And that was at York Racecourse, and that was a massive success. Lots of it held outside. We had about 5,000 people through the door. The biggest collection of geeky traders in the north of England under one roof for one day. Really great day out, and it was good.
I think Teesside's the one that is closest to our heart of all the areas.
Teesside's our favourite. I mean, we're Billingham people. We live in Billingham, born and bred in Billingham. We love Teesside, so Teesside Unleashed. It's not the biggest, but it's the one we love the most. We care more about Teesside than anything else.
Good. So, with these events, have these events always been? But it's now on. It's not as underground as previous, or is this brand new? Is this something which has come over from America and it's just catching momentum?
In the last few years, it's become cool to be geeky. Mm-hmm. If you liked the geeky sci-fi stuff at school, you were going to get picked on. You were going to get bullied. Mm-hmm. It's not the case anymore. We are the mainstream. We are one. We are, we're out there. There's a lot of events about, and each one of these events has its own merits. The Comic-Con idea started off, people might be correct me on my facts, early 70s in a city in America called San Diego. And it was, as it sounds, it was a convention for comics. But as it went on, people dressed up, and then other media came into it. So you had movies, you had games, you had books, you had art, and all these things sort of tied in. And then they sort of spread over here. I mean, we modelled ourselves on an event that happened in Birmingham first time about 20 years ago called Memorabilia, which is a big trade event, big room full of geeky traders at the NEC. But they had a few add-ons, they had a few costumers, they had a few signers, they had a few sort of things like that. And we sort of like modelled ourselves on what they've done more than anything else. So there's a lot of events about at the moment. We tend to move away from the comic convention name. We've got the brand Unleashed because we just we like to cover all ages, all genres, and we just don't like the pigeonhole ourselves into
Yeah.
one particular area. No matter what age you are, no matter what you're into, if you come along, you are going to enjoy it. There's going to be something there for you. There's a lot about. I think the number of events will probably peak in 2016 and probably go down again after that. But there's still an awful lot of really good events about. I mean, aside from Unleashed, there's a really good cinematic experience happening in Doncaster in October called UltraCon. If you get a chance, go down and try that out, because you'll never see anything like it. That's a really good show. That's not just about the shredders and stuff. That's about the costumes. That's about the parades. That's about the music, the props.
The props were brilliant. The big AT-AT, wasn't it?
Yeah, life size. Oh, there was a half size AT-AT at the last one. A Tatooine street, and then you can see full size Optimus Prime truck and things like that.
That's at Doncaster.
Doncaster in October. It's called UltraCon. It's worth the journey. It's really good. But you've also got around the country the big corporate style events like MCM and Showmasters, and each one's got its own its own positives. They're all good shows. It's what you do. You go to a few and find out what you like. And
I mean, you do find that a lot of sci-fi material is announced at these places, and they may get big stars. Like they got, I think it was in America, they got Harrison Ford, and I mean that just shows you the power of these types of shows, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest company in the UK is probably Showmasters, run by a lad called Jason Joyner, who I know from a lot of years ago when he used to run small Star Wars events in Milton Keynes. He's had some really big guests over the years. He's recently had the likes of Carrie Fisher over here at his events, and I think London's just announced some big stars who I can't think of off the top of my head. What we tend to do is we tend to have one or two guests at our shows, and we make the stars of the shows the people. We encourage people to turn up in costume, and it's their show really.
Yeah, just remind me again who will be there on Saturday.
At Teesside on Saturday we have Femi Taylor, who played Ula, Return of the Jedi. Ula was Jabba's dancer who got killed by the Rancor monster, sadly. Oh no, spoiler alert. I'm sure they've seen it by then. And we also have Dave Prowse, who played the physical Darth Vader in Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And he was also the Green Cross Corps before then. Come along and meet Dave, because Dave is Darth Vader. He is the embodiment of Darth Vader. A few characters have done his voice and under the mask and stuff like that, but every time you see Darth Vader on screen in the original trilogy movies, it's Dave Prowse. Come and meet him. He's a great guy, and get an autograph, have a chat with him, pick up his book, because it's an experience.
He's got the most amazing accent as well, hasn't he?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, bless him, Dave. He got nicknamed. I've interviewed him a few times at panels and stuff at events. And he got the nickname Darth Farmer because he has this West Country accent. It's not as bad as you think. I mean, it's good, but he's really good at taking the mick out himself and having a bit of a laugh. It is a nice accent, but Dave's a really, really great man. I mean, at other events in the year, can't give away too much, but the next Teesside Unleashed is in October the 1st after this one, and we're hoping for a big Doctor Who presence at that one. Not a massive fan of Doctor Who, but I love the idea of it, and I know what it means to a lot of people. So keep an eye out for that.
It's brilliant, and that'll be October
the 1st, Teesside Unleashed 8. Well, forget about that for now.
Yeah,
just come along on Saturday.
Saturday, which is the main. It's the main day.